We've all seen how badly Ubisoft's been struggling. Last year, they had Skull and Bones, which was a quadruple A failure. X Defiant came out, and that was supposed to be the Call of Duty killer, but it flopped, and they're already shutting down servers in 2025. Then, of course, we had Star Wars Outlaws, which was not the massive success they were expecting. And leading up to Assassin's Creed Shadows release, we all assumed that this would be the last big game they'd be able to put out if they were not making a lot of money from it. And now we're finding out that Tencent has stakes in Ubisoft's new 4.3 billion gaming venture. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this is a brand new story that is just trending, so I'm sure over the next couple of days we'll probably get some more information on it, but it looks like Ubisoft is in fact forming a new subsidiary company in partnership with Tencent. This was initially reported on a couple of weeks ago, and it looks like they're going ahead with it. So it says Ubisoft announces the creation of a new subsidiary. Tencent will invest so incredibly much money in a minority stake. It is insane. Let's take a look at Hypnotic's thread. Ubisoft has officially sold its video game franchises and formed a new subsidiary, giving Tencent 25% ownership and royalties as it specifies. Right here, it is an enterprise value of approximately $4.3 billion, and this new entity will include a popular game franchise such as Assassin's Creed, there will be Far Cry, and even Rainbow Six. They're set to invest 1.16 billion euros for a 25% stake in this newly formed subsidiary. Yves Guillemot, the Ubisoft CEO, shared his enthusiasm about this development, stating, "Today, Ubisoft is opening a new chapter in its history. This is a foundational step in changing Ubisoft's operating model that will enable us to both be agile and ambitious. The new subsidiary will not only include the teams working on the mentioned titles, but will also manage the back catalog and any forthcoming games under development. This new strategic move by Ubisoft and Tencent's investment marks a significant moment in the gaming industry." This is going to be the talk of the town for the next few weeks, because we did know the Guillemot family had been actively seeking new investors for the video game properties. The value of this new unit exceeds the current enterprise value of Ubisoft, indicating a significant milestone for this company. So we could see some major shifts over the next probably couple of years. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is already worth more than Ubisoft itself with the massive investment from Tencent. It will own all of the IPs of the video games that Ubisoft formerly owned. And as it says, they will maintain full control of it, making a new board of directors with a 25% influence from Tencent, and they will be paid royalties on every transaction of Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. He also goes on to talk about how ultimately this, yes, is really just Ubisoft selling without selling. So they had to sell their franchises to a brand new company and take a massive savings investment from another company who wants to take them over little by little, but yes, is being strategic about it. We have heard rumors over the past year that Tencent really just wanted to dig their claws into Ubisoft, and a lot of people actually thought that maybe their games were being sabotaged, that Tencent was, pushing a lot of ideas that were, yes, politically driven for games like Star Wars Outlaws or even Assassin's Creed Shadows, and they knew what the reaction was going to be, therefore their value was going to tank because there was going to be backlash and less sales, and it was this major tinfoil hat theory. And now it does look like, yes, they have had this deal in the works for a long time, and Tencent is really looking to go big with Ubisoft. Tencent is a company that typically invests a little in a lot of companies so they can get around regulators, but it looks like they're not interested in doing that in this case with Ubisoft. Now, even though this is brand new news, there are a lot of mixed reactions. There are some people saying this is actually pretty good because they're trying to protect their IPs. There's other people saying that this is the end of Ubisoft, and I definitely think it is the Ubisoft as we know it, but not them in totality. I think that this is a kind of last-ditch effort for them to really keep their franchises alive and keep their company alive. Now, how this will end up turning out, we don't really know. I always feel very uncomfortable uncomfortable though when a company is working very closely with Tencent because, again, they have a lot of small investments in many larger companies. And I just don't really want to trust a CCP entity as blindly as maybe others do. And it's perfectly fine if you think that this could totally save Ubisoft. There is a chance, though I do think that Assassin's Creed Shadows is not going the way that they particularly expected, which is why they're announcing it now. I think that if the game was doing absolutely amazing and was hitting all of their goals, and they were actually selling the amount of copies they want you to believe they are, they would try to hold off this news. Maybe it was also just Tencent's decision and they needed to announce it in Q1. We don't really know, but now everybody's just going to be talking about this instead of Assassin's Creed Shadow. So it's definitely going to shift the news cycle quite a bit away from that game to specifically this new gaming venture, which I think is an interesting tactic for them if they are looking for more sales, because it's like it's going to get buried now when they need as much press as possible. Very bizarre timing, at least in my opinion. But the initial reactions are not particularly positive. It's not a like sweeping, resounding, huzzah, this could change the gaming industry for the better. The fun is just beginning. They did this because they had 20K employees that no one wanted. The move guarantees most of them lose their jobs. IGN's already backtracking. Now we have to wait and see if future games improve, but I doubt they will, though. I would not put a lot of trust or faith into Ubisoft and Tencent. Just take everything with a hefty grain of salt and look at individual projects, not this news as some like massive win, because they could still pump out slop. Let's be fair. This is a desperation move. Oof, it deserves to be respected elsewhere because Ubisoft ruined their own IPs, but 3 million players. Another portfolio for the CCP, the lesser of two evils, I guess. Tencent is going to do some heavy lifting. Can't wait to see more woke success. I don't necessarily think that anybody should be celebrating a major victory at this point in time because there is so much we just don't know. TCV, total chud victory. And all that 3 million players song and dance was so share prices would rise. Tencent pays more and some execs get a bigger bonus. Hope they get nothing and investors go ahead with a lawsuit. But UB ratioed Elon thinking they were winning, and clearly they were not. So I'll be keeping my eye on this over the next few days. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of news on this, a lot of coverage, and I'm sure that we will get some more information. Only time will tell, of course, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.